Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of Over the Top Rope, where we have made history. Grillo is the first returning guest and the only person to ever appear on Over the Top Rope twice.
Yeah, first, I just like to thank God for this opportunity. Without him, we wouldn't be able to be here today. First and foremost, my cats, who are both asleep, not paying attention to what I'm doing. I'm so grateful for them. Uh, you, of course, the fans, the listeners. This is an accomplishment, man. This is right up there. It's probably number one. I don't think anything I've ever done has been as insurmountable as this. It's been so huge.
Yes, I'm so glad that you see it the way I see it because I wouldn't just have anybody on for a second time. I wouldn't just, extend that invite to just anyone. So I'm glad you see it for what it is.
Yeah, listen, TSF is a bunch of history makers. Trivia question for all you fans out there. Do you know what tag team was featured in the first ever AEW Dark emanating from Orlando, Florida? Yeah, go ahead.
Uh, what is TSF for 200, Alex?
Ding, ding, ding. That is correct. I don't know if that's how Jeopardy worked, but I never really watched it. But yeah, that is correct.
I'm right either way, so we're good.
Fair point. It's your show. You make the rules.
So, how's the recovery going, my friend?
It's going, man. It's a battle. I had therapy today. Today was the end of week 4. Some good things, some bad things. I have to learn how to walk again, and that's not something I thought I would have to do at almost 29. It's really weird that you could forget something so simple as walking, but that's what it's been. So I'm today I started to learn how to walk. Couple weeks, hopefully I'll be able to drive for a month or so. But yeah, it's going. It's as much as it's physical battle, it's such a huge mental battle. Like it's so hard to just you know the my injury was so accidental. It was no one's fault, obviously, but it was so unfortunate. And
Yeah.
if you think about it, is you've only really seen that injury one other time. So yes, I psycho-sided myself, but which you never go full psycho-sid. But it's when you get hurt at like the ball, like when you're playing basketball with your friends, there's only a small amount of people around. You get hurt, just doing something. No one. Sometimes people aren't around. You get hurt. It's a little different when it's on such a grand scale and there's
Yeah.
cameras and there's fans and you're laying this way and your legs going that way. So it's a lot of mental and just trying to get myself to be like, hey, like the things they're trying to get you to do in therapy,
Hmm.
you can do them. Like it may be hard, but like you can do them. So like today I did 95% of everything good and then 5% I couldn't do. And I had such a hard time focusing on that 95 and I
Yeah.
focused on that 5. So I was pretty defeated, but it was the first day that I was able to I say walk. I had a
Yeah.
cane and I was holding onto the wall. I just didn't have crutches. So, and it was the most weight I've put on my leg. And obviously that's going to hurt. It's been 2 months since I've walked, which is crazy to think about, but it's going good. Everything's been positive. So it's got to keep going.
That's good though. I mean, I'm glad to hear that, you are doing the, 95% right. And it's not something like, oh, it's not progressing like they wanted to, or I was able to do less than they would like at this point or something like that. So I'm going to look at this as a glass half full type thing. And I'm hoping at this point you're at about, what, 15% super kick rate, maybe?
Ah, geez, look, it's not Monday yet. I guess we all just have to wait till Monday to see what percent I'm at. Monday, probably around 12 o'clock, I would say, on YouTube.
Okay, yeah, we can roll with that. We can roll with that. 'Cause,
I think I think if I'm lucky, fingers crossed, and these sweet guys behind me, these sweet fellas behind me, let me to continue doing my updates until I come back. I would like to hope that most of my updates will be coming from.
I look forward to them, and we talked a little bit, about your support system and how you've got.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say, and I've got to, I I personally never thought about the injury aspect of, a wrestler being injured till about like a year ago. A guy that I'm really good friends with broke his ankle and he was out for like 3 or 4 months, I think it was. I can't remember. But just seeing his status updates, and I just did not take in or take into account the actual just like mental aspect of it. So having, you know, like your coaches, Cody and the Young Bucks texting you, like, checking in with you, I gotta imagine that obviously doesn't take away the complete, mental aspect of it, but it kind of helps to soften the blow a little.
Yeah, yeah, and I definitely had to tell myself that a bit because, when I first got hurt, it was like, wow, it's really cool. All these people are reaching out to me, but it sucks because I'm hurt. But then,
Exactly.
you tell yourself it's like, no, it's because they love you and they care about you and they're very sorry you're going through something. Like, don't throw pity into somewhere where there's not pity. They're people who care about you. And yeah, it was crazy. If you watch this back or you're watching live, you probably saw a little smile I cracked when you said like you have people like Cody and the Bucks texting you, and that is as someone who went to this is like, by the way, collectors. You and I, we talked about it the first time. As you see behind you, collectors, I personally set up this shot so you have my bookshelf, and I haven't hung this up yet. This is like my all-time favorite collection, and we'll go through it later if you want. But to be a fan at this show, to be there, I idolize these guys. I've said it before. Cody was the reason I came back to wrestling, and the Bucks were part of that too. And to have those guys as heroes, people you looked up to, and I know they're I'm not that the age difference isn't that far apart between
Yep.
us. Weird to say people like they're my idols, but they are. It's true. They gave me my love back for professional wrestling, and they're just good, genuine people. And it's not just them. It's I can't believe that I even work for AEW, let alone have the support system from them. So that's some of the crazy stuff. People that I never even thought knew my name are
Yep.
calling me every day and texting me every day. So I can't wait to get back because obviously, you say you hate work when you're at work and then you're not there and you're like, I wouldn't mind being at work right now. But it's mainly because
Yeah.
one, I'm living my dream, but two, I work with my best friends. Like, well, I used to live with Dean. I met him in camp, and now we
Yep.
work together. And I went from seeing him every day because we live together, to him moving out, to getting this job and then seeing him every week again, not seeing him anymore. It sucks. I miss my friends, and Shane too. Like he became one of my closest friends. Like in wrestling, that's the weirdest thing. You become friends with people you've never thought you would. He's
Yeah.
this awesome guy from Bosnia who's lived a life, and he has a family, but I haven't gone a day without talking to him since I met him. Like
Yep.
that's just what wrestling is. And you and I have become friends just off of one indie show that we just happened to both
Yep.
be at, and we just hit it off. And you and I talk at least 3 to 4 times a week,
Yep.
just not even about wrestling, just collection, just how each other's doing, our cats, as
Yep.
one of them is about to leave the room.
I had to kick my cat out to do this, so you should really feel special because he's got like his own furniture in this room,
Yep.
and this is where, if he's like, cats, they get in that mood. They're like, you know what? I just need about hour and a half, 2 hours by myself. He will push this door open, come in here, and hop up on his furniture. And I had to sit him down and just be like, look, man, I got important shit going on. You got to sleep on the couch. But yes, you're absolutely right. We talk, several times a day, and you were talking about, Cody's look at you back into wrestling, and it was literally you and Hunter and Kat and Hayden. They got me back in to wrestling, so it's that one just like big full circle moment, and that's like the epitome of what wrestling's all about.
Yeah, no, that's what it is. It becomes a family at the end of the day, like I moved down here with no friends and then not knowing a single person. And then now all of my friends that are down here and all my best friends are all wrestlers. This is a community.
I want to point out too, this is the first interview I've ever done. Even like uh, Mike Goldberg from UFC, Ed Asner that played Santa, and Alpha Will Ferrell. This is the first one that I've ever done where I had a comment before the show ever even started.
Look at that, the viewership.
Tom was really excited, and we're going to go through the comments here. Tom was really excited. You've been on here twice, and hopefully Colorado didn't ruin AEW for you guys. Too bad.
So it's funny you say that because I fell in love with Denver when we went there. The second I landed, I texted Jen and I was like, "Hey, so I think we need to move here because I love it here. I am, where I live in New Jersey. It's not, it's not country or anything. It's just like I live, where I live is very mountainous, so we live up in the mountains off the main road, and it's very quiet,
Yep.
and that's how I am. So, and that's what I figured. That's what I got from Denver. When you're driving, there's just nothing but just the beautiful mountains and vast emptinesses, and it's peaceful. And I remember saying when I got home, I was like, you know what? I would definitely move to Colorado still. Besides all this, like even breaking my leg, I'd still go back. It's beautiful. I was like looking at our calendar, like on the website, for like the AEW tickets, just to be
Yep.
like, are we going back to Denver anytime soon? Because I had a lot of fun there. Like where we were was beautiful. It was just like I was like, wow, this is if my leg wasn't sideways right now, this would have a 10 out of 10 trip.
uh, yeah. Maybe you can like just kind of like creep Tony Khan's door open and be like, "Hey, man,
I need a
call it away."
redemption.
You
Maybe I
know,
get my first win in Colorado.
that's
That's a
pretty
storybook
impressive.
ending, storybook ending, I guess.
Isn't Colorado where the Red Rock Amphitheater, I think it is, where it's like
Yeah, I think so.
I think it is. It's just like amphitheater where they have concerts literally like carved into like a mountain, I
Yeah,
think it is.
yeah,
And that's
yeah.
like bucket list for me because like I'm a huge music person, whether it be like Bone Thugs and Harmony or like Mercy Me or something. So to see a concert at Red Rock in Colorado would be pretty fucking epic.
Oh yeah.
And then let me see if I can find it. There it is. There it is. Gonna
Hey,
dominate the return. We
hey.
know this. That's some facts.
There it is. That was my cousin Remy. Speaking of him, his brand new directorial debut movie is about to drop in March, I believe.
Wow.
It's coming up soon. I'm so excited. I'm so proud of him. He worked so hard on this. We've been talking throughout the process. Um, so I actually shared an interview he did today with his dad Frank, who's also a big movie star in himself, where they talk
Yeah.
about the movie and stuff. Fighter and the Kid, I believe, is the podcast. So I shared it on my story. If you want to go learn more about his movie, please do. Please support it. I can't wait for it. I'm so excited. I'm going to make everybody I know buy it when it comes out. So give him a follow on Instagram and look out for his movie.
Yeah, I'm in. One of the other things I know I've had a couple of people kind of indirectly ask me about, but of course I'll let you talk about being a Young Buck stand-in
Ooh.
and how that started and how that took place because obviously it takes place on a pretty large platform for lack of putting it better. So the Young Buck stand-in.
Yeah, dude, it's just so weird because you would think by now I would almost like be like, oh yeah, it's pretty normal life. And sometimes I do, but other times it's like, man, like I used to love BTE. Like, I used to watch it all the time. Whenever the new episode
Mhm.
dropped, I was watching during COVID. There's nothing to do. I got like halfway through from beginning to about middle of just rewatching BTE because there's nothing else. It was just so much fun, and I loved it. And it just so happened one day I was in the background doing something for them, and I was texting back and forth with them. I was like, "Hey, by the way, this sounds stupid, but like, thanks for leaving that clip in where I'm in the background. Like, I used to love BTE, or I still do love BTE. Like,
Yeah.
I used to watch it all the time, and it was just cool to be in it." He was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
man." They were just talking, and one thing led to another, and this idea kind of came about. Dean and I were trying to figure out, like, okay, well, how do we get on BTE? And then they were like, they had this idea, and fast forward, and here we are. And it's so weird because we were like, you think this will catch on? Like, it's pretty funny. I find it funny. You think like
Yeah.
it will catch on, and just right away it did. And like some of the fans kind of were like, "Oh, it's the Young Bucks," all jokingly and stuff. And then some of the boys would do it in the back. Like we would walk in and they'd be like Matt and Nick and just keep walking. And like, it's just so like, that's so funny. TSF. And yeah, it is kind of organic in a way.
Yep.
And I don't want to stop doing it since I've been hurt. We had the one where it was literally that was the night I had surgery. The one that aired when Dean was over. I was like, hey, we have to film this before you leave. I don't care if I'm still coming down from a high from the anesthesia. We got to film this bit before you leave. And I have some ideas, so hopefully in the coming weeks, we can film some more. But when I come back, I would love to pick up where we left off. Maybe, I don't know, maybe one day they just can't make their Dynamite match. And me and Dean have to wrestle for them and do all of their moves. Not like I haven't been practicing them before I got hurt. And not like me and Hunter don't do the TSF trigger as it is. But who knows? Maybe, just maybe, them and Kenny can't do a trios match one day. And then you got me. And then you got Dean. And then you got Mr. Toucan, Brandon Cutler in the middle. 2 trios in the elite. The titles will never be lost. Something to think about. Stand in elite. I don't know.
Wow. That's like, I don't know if you know that like you just like came up with like $1 million idea, but you did. And
this notebook is full of them.
Oh, there's a notebook.
Just kidding. That's my match book. The notebook is somewhere else, but that's my match book. That's where I keep all my matches.
One of my friends on Twitter asked a question, and I'll let you answer it. Does Grillo collect the wrestling trading cards?
I do. I used to collect WWE a long time ago, and I still have some old relics I'll have to pull out when I go home. I remember one day I found a hobby box of TNA cards. Whew. Geez, those are some name drops in there. I had a lot of the it was like the ring mat cards where it was a ring used mat from a match and they had the guys on each side and the ring was surrounding it. Those are cool. I have like an Eddie one. I have some of those. But I do collect the AEW ones every now and then. I don't think I have them on the shelf just because we moved into our new house a little over a month ago. And now that I'm just starting to walk around, I'm just kind of starting to put our stuff away. Or my stuff away, I should say, because I'm very meticulous about everything, how it goes on the shelf. So I haven't pulled my wrestling cards out yet, but I do have some.
And I think that's like a really cool thing that like, because I know there's a lot of like baseball players and like football players that collect like their own cards, but for you to be like in AEW collecting AEW cards, I think it says a lot about the product and the brand that you're not just like, oh, AEW work, that's it. But I think with a lot of people just like you, eat, sleep, breathe wrestling.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. And the wrestling collection doesn't just stop at cards, it definitely have figures too. And one of the cool things that one of my friends had brought up that I started doing was buying figures for people that I have matches with.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah, I can't remember who gave me the idea. It may have been like my friend Trip or something. May have been Dean too. I don't really remember. But yeah, so it was tough for a while because there wasn't any. But now that more figures are being produced, there's and I've had more matches. There's more figures that I'm able to get, which is really cool. Like I had my first ever match was Wardlow and Shawn Spears. And now that they've came out of the Spears, I have the collection of the two. I still have to get the Spears though. So if anyone finds the Chase, please let me know because I love that Chase figure so much. So there's that one, and then there's Death Triangle, Matt Hardy. I think Private Party again figures they announced soon. Billy Gunn, I believe the last announcement that he was getting one. So I can't believe I wrestled him. But then there's some other ones that I want to try to get. Like I need to get a Scotty 2 Hottie figure because I did get to wrestle him. But yeah, so that's another little collection thing that I've been starting to do.
And speaking of, I wanted to touch on this, and I think I'll just kind of piggyback off of it. The people you've wrestled, if I'm not mistaken, you were in the ring with Jeff Jarrett in his AEW debut.
Yeah,
that's pretty huge.
Hey, wild, like insane. I could not believe it happened. It was one of those right place, right time things. And thankfully, Dean and I kind of knew Jeff already, and we knew Satnam as well through training and stuff. So it was kind of just one of those right fit matches, and it was nuts. Just to to stand in the ring. I'm so happy the camera wasn't on me, but when we're standing in the ring doing our little load-in thing, and Jeff Jarrett's music hits, I almost lost it because me and Trip used to just throughout the house would just my world all the time, and then just standing in the ring when it happened, I'm like, what am I doing here? And I got offense in. I didn't just get my ass kicked by Jeff Jarrett. I got to fight Jeff Jarrett. Wild. And Matt Hardy, like, it's so weird. So weird.
I will tell you though, I do have a complaint about that match. Why are you always taking the finisher?
You know what? I'm just that good. I'm always in there to the end. That's why. I'm always just fighting to the end, and then I just get killed.
Because I know you took Penta's Fear Factor finisher, and I always say this because I think I'm not even kidding when you see me on Twitter say I hate wrestling fans, because I do. They don't understand that it takes talent to sell a move and to make that person's move look good. And you make finishers look good. So I do understand why you take the finishers, and absolutely not saying, Dean wouldn't or doesn't. But and I think I even texted you or messaged you with Jeff Jarrett, and I was like, finisher, you made it look good. And I'm watching it and I'm like, it looks good.
The only regret about that match is that I didn't get hit with a guitar. We tried.
Yeah.
But down in the back, I was like, TNA sucks. I hate TNA. Hit me with the guitar, and he just wouldn't do it.
Did he say shut up, slap nuts, or anything like that?
Yeah. And then Tottenham it was a whole thing. It was all scary. That's why I got killed. That's why I took the finish. It was my fault.
Then I think that brings up something else I wanted to ask you. I always want to ask it, but so as a wrestler, as somebody who does appear on Dark, and you have been on Dynamite taking a boot to the face, but we won't talk about that. When you see these dirt sheets like Meltzer and Alvarez and guys like that saying just I don't know, all the Young Bucks are stale and their moves are the same every week or something like that. How do you I guess not start just typing you know what I'm saying? How do you?
There's times when you want to say things, but that's what they want. Sometimes people not targeting those guys, just in general. Some people will say things just to get a reaction back, because the reaction they get is what the whole thing was about. Whether they believe what they said or not, it's just about the reaction. And you know what? Sometimes not every style of wrestling is everyone's favorite, and that's okay. There's no reason to hate it or shit on it or go at other people for liking it or not liking it. It's just there's different styles. Just some people like sports, some people don't. It's for them, it's not for them. It's whatever. But if you think what the Young Bucks are doing is stale, you're out of your mind. Pretty much wrestling is repetition. What was Goldberg's entire career? Spear, jackhammer, botch the match, finish. It was his whole career. All jokes aside, he would show up, spear you and break your, just destroy you, jackhammer, and the crowd would go nuts. What would Hogan do? Punch, 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 rip the shirt, big boot, fire up, leg drop. It for years, and it worked. What's wrong with repetition? Are you people? I don't know. It's just sometimes people just don't like people because they're good people. That's what it comes down to. Wrestling is that's the good thing about it, is everyone has an opinion. Sometimes that's a bad thing, but it's all opinion. It doesn't matter if you like someone and someone doesn't. If you like them, then you like them. That's okay.
And I think that's a very, very good way to put it, is, not necessarily at this point, but the Young Bucks were heels. So for you to get on Twitter and be like, the Young Bucks suck, I hope they lose next week, that's exactly how you're supposed to feel. You're supposed to want to see them get the shit kicked out of them every week, because that's what they're doing, that's how they're supposed to make you feel. That's the story they're telling.
Mhm.
And I think people get too caught up in basically not watching what they're complaining about and just complaining to complain, you know?
Some people just like to complain, and that's okay. That's just who they are. That's you have to realize that you don't. Your opinion's your opinion. People don't have to change it or agree with you. That's what it is. That's what makes wrestling great.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
that's what that's what leads to let's go this person. This person sucks. You know what I mean? That ain't that whole we hate this person or we love this person. That's the whole point of the match.
Are you looking forward to your first Meltzer Twitter post in the future?
Yeah, I mean, hey man, I love Cloud. Anybody who wants to write about me, go ahead. I'll tell anybody anything they want about my injury, whatever you want to know.
We got a comment from your biggest fan.
Oh, hey Bubba. Hey, I'm his biggest fan, first of all, and I love you, Mr. Knott. Please sign an autograph for me. I tweeted it the other day. This is the longest since I've moved down to Georgia that I've gone without seeing Hunter. And it is very weird. I don't like it. I like sometimes wait for him to come home when I'm just sitting on the couch. Be like, what's up, Hunter? But we don't live together anymore. So it's really weird because we basically from the day we moved down here lived together until
Yeah.
like last month. So from being your tag partner, your best friend, your brother, living with him all the time to not living with him anymore. It's so weird. And I miss it so much. And like the other day he was playing on Twitch and I was playing with him. And
Uh-huh.
usually if I wanted to go tell him something, I would just walk downstairs. And there was a point of me where I was playing where I went to go say something to him because my game wasn't working. And then I was like, oh, he's not downstairs and I can't walk.
This is pretty accurate though. It's like a long
Literally.
distance relationship.
But he's worth it.
And he's
Never.
never gonna cheat on you.
Never. Well, it's
And
because we're loyal.
and Tom said that
Hunter's a jack boy now. Anybody see those pictures he's been posting? He's getting ripped.
yeah, and I love it. I really do.
I'm proud. He's been killing it. If anybody's been keeping up with him since I've been hurt, I remember I called him from the hospital shortly after I got hurt, and I was in tears, and I was like, "I'm sorry, man. I ruined this for us. Like my leg is gone." And I kept saying to him, I was like, "This is your time. You go out. You do you. I'll eventually catch up to you, but go show the world like what I know about Hunter." And that's exactly what he's been doing through injuries too. This
Yep.
kid in the Southern Fried Show a couple weeks ago blew out his shoulder 4 times. It dislocated 4 times, and each time he popped it back in and just went back to the match. And then he wrestled the next day, and then the next week. And dude's been a warrior. So he's been killing it on the indies, and I can't wait to get back with him. And to be honest, I kind of just want to share a ring with him one-on-one. And like no storyline thing, just no breakup or anything. It's just
Yeah.
when you're going through like coming back from injury, not that I don't trust people, but like for the first few times I'm in the ring, I only want to be in there with someone I trust and I know, and who better than him. I've wrestled 90% of my matches with him with me, and I
Yep.
like we know each other without talking. We can just go in there and just do a match. So that he's like number one on the list of someone obviously I want to tag with again and keep tagging with and winning titles, but like just to have like a one-off match or something, just to have that fun back and give me kind of what I need, like my confidence back, essentially.
That would be like absolutely amazing. And I've been telling Morgan because it's like I think like 5.5 hours us from or for us to Atlantis. And I've been telling her like we need to get down there, and whether it be what is it, George, is it GPW? I
Yep,
think it's down
GPW,
there.
yeah, Georgia Premier Wrestling
And then uh Diamond
District.
Championship District, yeah. Yeah, and because I do I tried to get an interview with Sheik a long time ago, and that's a
Probably
busy
didn't pay
man.
enough, man. He's an expensive guy.
And so he agreed to it. Times didn't match up, and like you said, he's a busy man. He's an expensive man, but I want to get down there and see you guys. And if you and Hunter like were to go 1-on-1, that would be like what gets me to make that 5.5 hour drive and just make a weekend out of it, and take the wife out to a nice place to eat down there, and then watch you guys go to town.
Yeah, hey, there's another great show that a lot of us wrote on called Southern Fried Championship Wrestling, the one I just previously mentioned.
Yep.
That it's one of the hottest shows in Georgia. It's so much fun. It's like one of the most. It's like the best time I have wrestling on the Indies, just because the crowd's great, the locker room's great, the people who run it are some of the best people in the world. Who again are part of my support system,
Yep.
and I'm very thankful for them. But they just put on a really great show. The crowd's always electric. The wrestling is always off the charts. You have four of the best wrestlers in the world. I mean, you have Carly Bravo,
Yep.
Blank Check Bravo, as I call him, or Carly Blank Check, whatever you want to go with. I mean, you got the Hot Shot, you got Cat Spencer, and then in however long it takes for me to grow my leg back, you got Rosario Grillo. There's four of the best wrestlers in Georgia, four of the best wrestlers in the world. Why wouldn't you want to come to that show? And you got other people like CT Keys, who's the champion, and Nashism, and those guys, and Nick Halen, who's probably the
Yep.
best wrestler in Georgia, and I want to wrestle the crap out of him. But it's just some of the best wrestling, and I know their anniversary show is coming up in June. They have a show coming up on March 18th, which is like 2 days before my birthday, so maybe something special on that day if you're in attendance.
Ooh, I like that. I
We'll
like
see.
I like special.
We'll see. We'll see.
And if Hunter's still watching, I had asked him about where they wrestled, but he wrestled a friend of mine, Alexander Moss, who is from Greensboro and wrestled at Firestar here. And God, that was a good match.
Yeah.
Hunter's good at the wrestlings.
Yeah, he is. That's why he's my tag partner, baby.
Oh man! So let's talk about the collection that you have behind you.
Yeah, it's a dulled down collection right now because I haven't put everything out, and I want to get some new shelving because we have more room now. We have like a whole spare bedroom that I'm just gonna make a toy room. But I mean, we got my Holy Grail behind me.
I love that thing so much.
This has come all the way down from Jersey with me. There's it's the All In poster. I was at All In. It's signed by a plethora of people: the Young Bucks, Cody, Penta, SCU, Hangman, Brandy. There's just a lot of people on here. Then there's just some other stuff from the show itself. There's like my ticket from the show, Okada Bucks. There's some pictures I took, some confetti. There's a lot of stuff in there. What we got cooking over here on the bookshelf, this whole top shelf is just Spider-Man figures. I didn't know I had that many, but I don't know if you remember like the vintage Marvel line back in the day. These were my favorite toys when I was a kid, and now that they've been remaking them, I've been spending every dollar I have on them, unfortunately. So those are cool. We got some pops down here. This one's a little miscellaneous. I just threw some stuff on there for now. Oh, this is cool. The Micro Brawler MJF Devil. I'm not into Micro Brawlers, but there's a really cool story behind this one that maybe I'll share one day. So that's why it's kind of special. That's why I had to grab it. Then these are all Power Rangers. It's just two shelves. It's just boxes of Power Rangers. Except I have the Kenny Omega Street Fighter figure.
Yeah.
Shout out to Floyd. Shout out to Tiff for sending that to me. Of course, I got the boys because I'm always studying. I'm always studying the game. That's why. And then this is actually really cool. I happened to find this at I'd say local, but it's over an hour away. Second Chance Toys. It's one of the big toy stores down here in Atlanta, and this is random. I don't know if you remember it, but it's Beetleborgs. Did you ever watch? Do you know what that is?
I know of it. I never watched it, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
So these are France exclusive minifigures. There's 4 of them. I just couldn't hold them all. And it's from 1996, brand new, unsealed. I just happened to walk in one day, and they had them on the shelf, and I freaked out. And if you look closely at Ethan Page's toy room vlog, you will see towards the end, you'll see 4 of them because we each have. I bought him a complete set, so then I have a complete set as well.
That's so dope. And I was gonna ask you because obviously, like Smart Mark and Ethan Page and Bunny, they're all huge toy collectors too.
Yes.
So I didn't know if you guys kind of look out for one another, or if you're always just like hey, I saw this, thought you might like it kind of thing.
Um, yeah, a little bit. I haven't really toy hunted with him yet. Ethan, I might be able to go with him when I come back. He said, actually, he told me. I said one of my goals is to go, and he was like, "Why is that a goal? Just come with me." So hopefully, I get to do one of his vlogs soon. But I know he collects so much stuff between Power Rangers, between Batman, and uh, I saw there's so much stuff to keep up with. But I know Batman and certain Power Ranger things are his thing, so like I'll look out for him sometimes. Anthony Bowens is a big Power Rangers guy, so if
That makes
mostly
sense.
like the original stuff, so like I'll send him some stuff if I see some things. Um, but yeah, hopefully I get to go. And it's actually funny. Shane and Dean, every time we go to a new city, I always go to the closest Target to see what figures they have,
Yep.
and I find the closest collectible store. And they all used to rag on me for that, and then now they do it for me in each city, and they FaceTime me like, "Hey, do you have this? Hey, do you have this?" So it's funny. And actually, you were talking about Denver before. I forgot to bring this up. I got this in Denver. This is so cool. Shano got this for me. It is the White Ranger 3-0 posable statue. This thing is it's the coolest thing I've ever seen. It's
That's
fully posable.
nuts.
The sword is like legitimately pointy. It looks real. Like it looks like a real shrunken down Power Ranger. It's so cool. And I got the White Ranger helmet to go with it. So I'm gonna make a little shelf with that. There is a Lord Draken one that I want to get.
Uh-huh.
Because if you look up there, I got the Lord Draken helmet. So I want to get that.
That's crazy.
So yeah,
Is the
collecting's been going well. I found the Rey
is the
Mysterio.
helmet wearable? Is the helmet wearable?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Oh, a little dusty. Oh, I got a big dome. Hold on. I gotta adjust it. I got a big head. Keep the
That
question.
you're answering my next question right now.
How big is your head?
Have you wore it?
No, not yet.
Oh, so this is happening.
Oh, I got such a big head. Oh, there we go. Boom.
You look great. Do you feel great?
I do. I feel the power. You know, it has a voice changer, but I don't have the batteries in it.
Oh man, that would just like tie this whole thing together. But Jesus Christ, man, I'm jealous.
Oh, it is hot in there. How did they do anything with that? Oof.
Any chance you wearing that on dark?
I wish. I wish. That would be so cool. Tony, can I please? That's actually so I always, we always dream like a big entrance, the WrestleMania entrance that everyone always wants. Mine was always I wanted Lord Zed's throne. Like that's
Oh
on the stage,
Jesus!
and I'm in the throne with the throne facing backwards with like Lord Zed's music playing underneath it, and then like it slowly spins around to me sitting in there with like the staff, and then
Oh,
and then my music hits. Come on,
chill,
come on,
chill.
come on! $1 million ideas.
$1 million ideas. That's just that would be like, oh, you would like. It'd be one of those things that like people that don't even like watch wrestling or care about wrestling, it would go viral for that reason of just the simple nostalgia and just people recognizing what it is and people being like, oh shit, that dude took this and put it into wrestling, because like Travis Kelsey, he was making fucking John Cena references before and after the Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it would be the same thing except you're just a little more famous than Travis Kelsey is.
Oh, one day, one day.
I don't think we should talk about football though.
Hey, it's looking up for me. I have like 15 options at quarterback, and I'm gonna end up with none of them.
Yeah, you guys gave us Darnold, and man,
I told you. That's how we became friends. I told you that was gonna be a bad idea.
yeah, and all I heard was Darnold's good. He just didn't have weapons.
He
Darnold's
showed it
good.
a little bit in Carolina in like the middle of the season. For a
Yeah,
second there, it was like, oh my god, is this actually the guy? And then he just went back to Jet Sam Darnold.
yeah, it was just like, and you were right. You're like, you guys got him. Thank you for taking him We appreciate you guys, sitting on that grenade for us.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
every year when the Panthers get a new quarterback, I keep an open mind. I have high hopes. And not even 6 games into the season, I'm flipping on Peacock and
Yep.
watching old WWE episodes.
All right, here we'll do rapid fire 2 football questions, and then we'll go back to wrestling. 1, who's the Panthers quarterback going to be this year?
Oh Jesus. I'm gonna. Oh man. I'm gonna stick with. I don't know. I gotta go with Darnold. I
Really?
don't know. Yeah. I just Rogers. He's either going to stay in Green Bay or he's going to retire. I just don't know who else they could. Everyone else is just too expensive. The Panthers aren't going to drop any money on him.
So I don't think they should because they don't have a team that's worthy of spending money on a quarterback. I think they should go get CJ Stroud. I think you should trade up, go up a little high to get him. It may backfire at first, but I think he could be a really good quarterback. And you could do the whole Darnold or Stroud. Who's going to start? Obviously, he would if they use all that capital to get him. But they do have some guys, some young guys, and who knows? Draft picks. You can get the right guys if you just
Yeah.
sign some minimal for all you have to do is just and he doesn't have to go win the Super Bowl, but win 5 games. Or I guess they did have a good year. If you win 6 games, win 7 games, and then the
Yeah.
next year go up a little bit and a little bit. That's the right fit for them. If they go out and pay for a guy, it's going to hurt the team long term. They're not going to be able to get any weapons.
And that's what the last 3 to 5 years has been, them just throwing money. And I'm not going to say these quarterbacks don't deserve to be in the league or, they suck because, I can't even sleep wrong without waking up in pain and stuff. But at the same time, they have spent money on quarterbacks and it's just not working out. It hasn't worked out. And their coaching was so terrible for the last 6 to 8 years. If they drafted somebody, they were just like, well, they're going to ruin them kind of thing. So, and I know there's a lot of talk already about Derek Carr coming to Carolina, but I do not see that happening.
So my follow-up question is going to be, who do you think the Jets are going to get? Because I think it's Carr.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
I pray to God it's Carr. No, it's not that I don't want Rodgers or I don't want Lamar, because I do. I want Lamar more than anything.
Yep.
But the money you have to give Lamar and the draft picks is too much for a young team stuck in the middle. We can't afford to give that up. If you go get Rodgers, no one really knows what his compensation is going to be. There's the rumors of at least 1 first-round pick, or it may not even be a first-round pick, so you have no idea what that value is, especially if he only wants to go to one team and he doesn't want to play for you anymore. Kind of handicaps you. I think Carr is the best option. Yeah, you're going to pay, but you're not going to pay what you're paying Rodgers and Lamar, and then you're not going to have to give up draft picks. Because then if you can get on the same team, draft an offensive lineman at 13, get another receiver in free agency or vice versa, your offense will – and Brees will be back.
Yep.
Garrett Wilson's rookie of the year. Elijah Moore will do better under a new quarterback. Hopefully Hopefully, oh my God, why am I blanking on our tight ends' names? I said Eifert because he's from Cincinnati. I can't think of his name. I know it's Conklin. I can't remember the other tight end's name. Uzama.
There you go. Yeah, because I was trying to rattle it off, but I wasn't coming up with anything.
So we'll see.
And I think Carr going to the Jets would be an immediate impact kind of thing. And if he comes to Carolina, I don't think it'll be any different than the last 2 to 3 seasons in Carolina, where 6 or 7 win seasons, oh shit, oh God, they're actually doing something.
I think it's going to be the Saints or the Jets. It has to be. They're the only team that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think that even with the Jets as they are right now as we're talking, with Carr could be a very much a potential playoff team.
Yeah.
But with Carolina, man, I think they're at least 2 to 3 years out from any type of postseason. Yeah. And Sadly enough, that's just not out of the norm anymore.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
And my Carolina Tar Heels haven't been that great this year either. So I've been really putting a lot of stock into wrestling and really, burying myself in in wrestling because the stick and ball sports, have not been kind to me this year.
I get that. I get that.
This is so. I was going to ask you to, and I don't want it to be stereotypical or cliche, but did you ever watch Jersey Shore?
I did. I did. I used to like Jersey Shore a lot.
Was that like, oh shit, the Guidos are on, let's go watch TV, or did you just watch it because it was like on kind of thing?
No, I mean we would. Oh, it's 8 o'clock. It's Jersey Day. Let's put on Jersey Shore.
That's why I asked because we she was in college at the time, and we would have like with her roommates, we'd have like Jersey Shore watch parties, and
Mhm.
it's just so wild to me, like watching it now, like the original episodes, not
Oh, dude,
any
it's
of.
crazy.
I'm just like, how is this on TV?
Insane. How is this a TV show?
Yeah, and so I didn't know because you were like kind of from that area if you watched it or if you had seen
Like,
it enough in real life that it was kind of like,
I didn't at first. I didn't watch it at first. Like the first season or two, I don't think I watched it, or maybe just the first season, and then eventually I did, and I was like, "It's kind of a good show. It's kind of I like garbage shows. I'll just be honest with you guys. I like garbage shows. I like shows that are drama filled. Bachelor, Love Island, any of those shows, just give it to me. I love the drama. It's hilarious. These people are so
yeah,
dumb.
and it's so crazy because
Netflix,
like,
love that show.
yeah, I agree with you 100%, and it's so crazy. Uh, there's a show on Netflix. I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically where there's a bunch of girls and a bunch of guys, and they talk to each other through pods, but they
Love is
can't.
blind.
That's it.
I
Yes,
watch
like
that too.
that's. I'm telling you, I have not seen MILF Manor though. I
I do want to see that. I do want to see that.
What is? I've never even heard of it. What is it?
I think it's just like a whole bunch of like middle-aged women and then a whole bunch of college guys. It just sounds so drama filled.
I think that's all it's gonna be. But yeah, it's like like 3 episodes into Love Is Blind. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is so stupid. This is like why like. And then like
So
episode 5, I'm like, oh my god, like they're gonna get together. So and so's gonna dump so and so. So and
you
so's
know, hey,
gonna
do you want to
follow
watch
up.
another?
Yeah, and like pretty much like watching like 6 to 8 episodes at a time, like almost finishing like a season in a day. And it's the
Yeah.
same way with Jersey Shore. And I think a lot of the reason I watched it was because of Sam and Ronnie and just
Oh
how
yeah.
much better they made me feel about mine and Morgan's relationship.
That's
And
great.
yeah, and but yeah, I thought I would ask that because I only asked the hard hitting,
You do.
you know.
I've been saying this.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, we're at 50 minutes, almost an hour. So, as always, I greatly appreciate you, my friend. I appreciate you hopping on the show, and I appreciate you, as people say, bringing the house.
Oh, stop it. No, thank you for having me on. I'm happy we got to do this. I'm happy it's in the record books. It'll never be erased. It'll never be broken. The first ever two-time guest. So thank you for allowing me to be that. And I mean, I love doing podcasts and shows. Like, I tweeted out last week. So this was fun. I love doing this. I'll do this more if you ever need another guest or anything like just want to talk sports or wrestling. But thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And my friend Aaron there said it was a
Thank you.
fun watch, and Tom said it was very entertaining. So
Oh, you guys are too nice to me.
I think we did what we were supposed to do.
Yeah, hey, I mean, you know what? It's just showbiz, baby.
Oh, I forgot to ask. Sheets or Buseys?
It's Bucky's and it's sheets.
Oh.
I'm a sheets guy.
So if like you like wake up tomorrow and it's like all over like CNN, NBC, ABC News, whatever, that like sheets like evaporated, like all the sheets, what are you gonna do?
I don't know how it would go on. I just don't know. Sheets is phenomenal. It has provided us with so many great just stops during road trips to shows. Anytime we come to North Carolina, the number one reason we're excited to get to North Carolina is that first Sheets. Because we're all, me, Jen, and Hunter are all pretty much northeastern people. We have Sheets everywhere. Sheets and Wawa. Wawa's great too. I just think Sheets has better food options. But yeah, dude, we love Sheets. We're big Sheets. I mean, we have a whole TSF Sheet shirt.
Those sheet freaks.
Damn right.
I think about you guys from time to time because I work like a block from Sheets. Maybe like if I wanted to, like I could walk to it from work. And I always think like I wonder if they could walk to Sheets if they would just ever even be at home.
Probably not. I would definitely go every day and like on the way to the gym, stop, get an energy drink rather than just buying them. I would just go in, boom, every day.
I tried those because of you guys. I tried those Ghost energy drinks, and those things are like crack, man.
Hey, you know what's even better? Prime Energy.
I've seen a lot of talk
So
about Prime.
there's Prime, the drink, phenomenal, and then there's Prime Energy, phenomenal. Shout out Logan Paul. This kid does it all. Dude's a great wrestler, fantastic drink connoisseur. Shout out to him for his amazing flavors and just a delicious drink.
That's awesome. I think they just became the official drink of like UFC or energy drink of UFC or something
I
like
want them
that?
to sponsor Trip. Trip Jordy should be the official athlete of Prime.
Man, Trip should be the like official sponsor slash spokesperson for every fucking thing.
Dude, make a
Like
killing. Dude, make a killing.
if I had like a third of like the charisma and energy and just like positivity that he has, I think I'd be like just like a whole, just like a better human, like all the
It's
way
not an
around.
act. Like it's not a wrestling act at all. Trip is just he's just always that like energetic and just ready to take on the world at all times. It's great. Yeah, he could sell ice to an Eskimo.
Yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt. Yep, yep. So tell the people where they can find you on social medias because it blows my mind that you don't have like 5,000 followers.
Hey,
Legitimately,
I
like
appreciate it. I wish. We're slowly climbing. We're slowly climbing. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at rgrillo tsf, and on TikTok at jgrillo23. I don't TikTok as much. I should. I have a lot more followers on TikTok than I do anything else. But keep an eye out for my socials. There's gonna be some exciting promos and announcements and stuff coming soon. So just give me a follow and say hi.
yeah, because if they follow you, then they can see those two swell fellows get back to tag team action when the time comes.
I can't wait. It's gonna be a while, but I'm eager to get there.
I'm excited for you, man, and I know you're gonna murder that comeback.
Fingers crossed.
That's gonna do it for this episode of Over the Top Rope. I appreciate everyone that chimed in, left a comment, and for the people who commented before the show even started, because that's a pretty huge milestone. And we will catch you guys on the next episode of Over the Top Rope.
See you guys.